So this morning we're going to do some tone training for longer range and off-leash recall with Mr. Sage here. Just has a GPS collar on him. And what this will allow us to do is track his location if he's too far, give a tone as well as a vibrate feature, and it also has a built-in light which can be handy at night when you're trying to find him in a large open field. The way that we're going to usually start this off is have him on a longer freedom leash. We're in a pretty wide open environment here. And I'll be changing, hi, how you doing? And I'll be changing directions whenever he gets too excited. Don't let the barking fool you, he's very friendly. So we're gonna give these guys a minute here to go by, and then we'll get started. So go ahead and pause for a second. So the reason why I'm using the freedom leash is that it gives me the option to just press the button here to lock the length of the leash and activate leash pressure when I need it. It also helps that it coils everything back up on its own, so I don't have to worry about the extra slack of a training lead, which is very helpful in these situations. Can also use a training lead, but because I'm short a lot of hands right now, holding the phone that also counts as like a remote, as well as the camera, as well as the leash. Just anything to make the process a little bit easier for me is going to be much appreciated. So when he comes back to me, I'm going to go ahead and give him a reward. And we'll get started here. Sage. Yes. Good. What we're going to do is try to walk together. And I'm going to change direction and do the tone at the same time. So I eventually want to replace the leash pressure that he would feel when we're normally turning around or calling his name with that tone and build that association for him. Because he's about to hit the end of the lead though, I'll have to wait until he comes back in. Go ahead and give him a reward for returning. Good boy. And we'll start walking this way. Boy. So now that we're walking together, I'm going to turn and tone. Yes, good boy. And it's nice and, leash was nice and loose. The tone helped to get his attention. And then he turned and noticed that we were going a different way. Boy. So once again, we'll be walking with him. We'll tone and turn around the other way. Yes, good boy. Good. This time we're going to go for a little bit longer before toning. Okay. But we want to try to make sure that we do it before he hits the end of the lead. Give him a second here. Okay, and now we'll tone. So that time he ignored the tone and responded to the leash pressure. So that's why it's important to do it before you get to the end of the leads. That way you know what he's responding to. Some things that will help to quicken the process is having higher value rewards that he really looks forward to, and so he builds that association faster of hearing the tone and coming back to you for the reward, and just some repetition too. Yes, good boy. So we'll just try this again. Walking with us. Good boy. I'm going to tone. Go a different direction. Yes, good boy. You got distracted there. So bicyclist, but he did redirect his focus back, which is good. Boy. So I'm going to tone. Yes. Right? So the tone got his attention a little bit, but the leash pressure is what added that sense of urgency. And sometimes pups will need more of a physical sensation to help break them from whatever they're fixated in, but we want to try our best to build up a good twitch response to him hearing that tone and then coming back to us for a reward before working on other things that can pull him away from whatever he's interested in. Sometimes you'll have to work on both ends of it. I like to start off with just building a good positive association. So tone and turn. Good boy, very good. Sage. Good. What I did there was added his name at the same time as the tone to help bridge that connection for him, right? Because right now he's hearing the tone, he's not quite sure of what to do and what it means. We're just trying to practice as much as possible so he can link the two together. Good boy. Sage. Yes. Very good. So I'm going to do a couple rounds with his name, and then we'll try to do a round without and just the tone and see if he picks up and just turns around immediately. Yes, good boy. Very good. Good job, big guy. Good. Good boy. This type of training is really good because you can work on it from both ends, right? So if he's further out, we can tone to get his attention, have him refocus and recall him back in. But in this situation too, we can work him close, and then if he gets too far, we can tone and bring him back in close. So we have him working outside of our circle in the recall, and then we can also have him staying within our circle too for this type of training. It can be really beneficial. Good boy. Good job, big guy. Now he's just following me really good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reward that. Good boy. Do a couple more rounds, and then we'll stop the recording because it'll just be a little bit easier to have two hands when doing something like this. Let him explore a little bit, and the key to this is starting off in an environment that's less distracting, really building that positive association and those good habits, and then going to environments with more smells, stuff for him to work through. So like right here. Yes, good boy. Very good. Right, so I was tempted to try to help him out with his name, but I gave the tone another try, and then he made that connection and came back, which is really good. We want him to recognize that it's a signal for him to start looking for us. We can do different exercises later on when we're not within line of sight. He has to use his nose to find us, or we can help by using his name, and he can go by sound, which can help some pups depending on how close or far away you are, but also at the same time can be very confusing and cause them to get more lost too if they're not able to track where that sound is coming from. Whereas pups like him that are used to using his nose, we can get him if we can get him to build that association and then start scent searching for us, that would be the most ideal. Be the easiest way for him to have fun using his nose to track us back down. So once again, he's got his nose going. Now there is a little bit of leash pressure, but it's going to be constant. So while there's pressure going on, I'm going to try to activate it, see if that way he's getting pulled by the tone out of his nose because he's hit that leash boundary. Sage. 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 Yes, good boy. Good boy. You can see there why we want to start off with less distractions at first and then build towards having more distractions, including the smells and different environments as he gets better, because right now it's a little bit too hard for him to pull himself away from those scents, which is understandable. It's still going to be really good practice later on down the road, but it's something that you kind of want to just build up to. So right now, whenever he's not nose into something, we'll tone. Sage. Add in, there you go, add in his name, and he's going to be a lot more responsive. So once again, we'll start walking together. He's paying attention. I'm going to turn and tone. Good boy. Bless you. All right. Good boy. And this device here doesn't have any prongs or anything. It does vibrate and beep, but it doesn't have like the static abilities or anything like that. Boy. It can definitely be very useful though, especially as a tracker. Good boy, yes. So there we're just testing out his sensitivity to the vibration. And because he had already hit the leash pressure and was ignoring that, the vibration was definitely more than enough to kind of snap him back into focus. He came running back, which was really good. Good boy. Good job, big guy. So go ahead and continue practicing.